live.
It's alive.
Hi, we're the Starkey Sisters. I'm Diana.
And I'm Lisa.
And we're here with the fabulous Mark Noone. Hi, Mark.
Hey.
Hi, Mark.
Good
Very
morning. How
nice
is everybody?
outfit. I think I need my shades, though.
Good to see y'all. Diana, I'm digging your shirt.
It's what if I were male, if I were the male Mark Noone, if I were the female Mark Noone, this is what I wear to my gig.
Well,
right?
I have been called the male Diana Quinn. So.
And I've been called the female Mark Noone.
And you're both wearing purple, too. You notice that?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Yeah.
Purple
Is it Brilliant Minds Think Alike or something like that, Diana?
Yeah, of course it is.
Could be. Yeah, could be.
Well, we've got our opening Snarky Sisters tune ready to go. It's the Sunday Songwriter Spotlight with Starkey Sisters. We're live at noon.
12:32. Not bad.
Right here on our Facebook page. With our friends we will commune. Because we're communists. The spotlight's on a special friend. Guess who? His name is Mark Noone.
This is a special spotlight. We've been doing these shows since June. Right, Diana?
Huh.
Well, Mark's gonna make you laugh and cry. And some of you even swoon.
Just don't moon us.
So here's our superlative guest star. Yes, it's the fabulous Mark Noone. Diana, you wrote this, and you made that big mistake that songwriters make all the time.
Oh, what is that?
It's
Speaking
called,
in another voice that's not my own, right?
It's called Moon, June, Swoon. Okay? A disparaging adjective used to describe work by poets or lyricists who lack the creative energy or ability, Diana, to move beyond the obvious and simple rhymes. Example, he possesses a bent for sheer melodicism and the kind of quick lyrical gift that makes the Moon, June, Swoon school of songwriters look like teeny tiny babies.
Oh, what? Is President Trump writing songs now? Just saying. All right, Miss Smarty.
You know, another one of those is Love and Dove. It's just out of there.
Well, all right, Smarty Pantses. Here we go. I'll do something else. Mark's a legend in his own time, a veritable punk new wave Daniel Boone. Yeah.
Okay.
He plays a lot of instruments, but he doesn't play the contrabassoon, I don't think.
Okay.
Right? We know he borrows a lot of ideas or some ideas, but he's not a leukocytozoon.
What?
Wow.
Leukocytozoon.
That's not a thing.
Yeah, it is.
What is it?
What the heck is a leukocytozoon, Smarty
A
Pants?
leukocytozoon is a genus of parasitic alveolates belonging to the phylum Apicomplexa, with black flies as the definitive host and birds as the intermediate host. A parasite. He's not a parasite. Okay?
I hope not.
Leukocytozoon.
I hope not.
See?
Wow.
Put that in a song.
Yeah.
All right, Diana
Okay.
quit.
You did it successfully.
Thank
You know, so one time, this is one of a rhyme that I used in a song one time, and I got the most flack for and the most praise for. It was in a song that I wrote when I was in the Wranglers, and it's about somebody who's always lying, and the line that goes, "So the next time I see you, you're in a new Carmen Gia."
Ooh.
Excellent.
And
Yeah,
so
that's good.
I got so much flack for that, and I also got people saying, "Man, that's really good."
See ya,
good.
Carmen Gia. I like it.
I had a Carmen Gia once.
Did you? Aren't they great little cars?
It was, well, except for when it caught on fire. That's another story. That's a long story.
Diana, we forgot to toast our guest.
You did?
We have to toast our guest.
Okay.
No.
All right.
What have you got there, Lisa?
Oh, this is a high noon highball.
Ooh.
Oh.
Diana,
And
what do you have?
I've got a raspberry champagne immune swoon.
And Mark, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking. This is called a Hula Monster cocktail, and I'll tell you that there's a little story about this. But let's toast first. Here you go.
All right,
Cheers.
Cheers to you, ladies. Thanks for having me.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thanks for being here.
So, I have a friend of mine, a guy named Eric Felton. I don't know if you know who Eric is. he's a jazz musician. He's got the Eric Felton Jazz Band and Eric Felton Orchestra. It's a big band. He's got like a trio.
What's his name again? Just kidding.
Do you know him, Eric Felton?
No, I don't. I don't think I do.
Eric Felton, the great guy, handsome guy, really nice guy, and he has got a trio. He's got a 5-piece, like a 7-piece, and a 16-piece band, like music for all occasions. And so, one of his he's a journalist also, and he had a cocktail column in I'm pretty sure it was the Wall Street Journal, and so he knows his cocktails. And so I was talking to him one time, and we were talking about. He says the Hula Monsters need a cocktail. And I said, well, when we used to play at the Half Moon Barbecue, Mark Gretschel wanted to have like a specialty cocktail. So at the time, I was spending a lot of time on my boat, and my cocktail on the boat was Captain Morgan Spice Rum and grapefruit juice, which is quite delicious by itself. And I told him that, and then a couple hours later, I get an email from him, and he says, Mark, I was inspired. And so the Hula Monster cocktail is 2 ounces of white rum, aged rum, a half ounce of lime juice, a half ounce of grapefruit juice, and a 1/4 ounce of cinnamon dolce, which is you used to be able to get it at Starbucks, but they changed the recipe at Starbucks. So now you can get it, but don't get the Starbucks one. and then some overproof rum like Gosling's 151 that you float on the top. And it's just delicious. It's really delicious, and there's one in there.
Ooh, wow!
Really, really good.
Everybody, don't go out right now, but collect everything, and we'll try it next week.
Yeah.
Hey, we want to do a quick shout out to Robbie and Jane and Adele and Ken. Hey guys, and Rick.
Yeah. Hey folks.
Yay!
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Good to see everybody here.
And so, what, they're contacting you, letting you know that they're watching?
Yep.
They're commenting on the Facebook page.
Okay, cool. All right.
So, and share, everybody. Everyone who's watching, click share down
there.
Share. Yeah, share. And here I'm going to introduce Mark now. The legendary, I made Robbie say that today in his in his plug for us. The legendary, Robbie would say. And shout out to Robbie if you're listening.
He is.
Hi, Dub.
Hi, Robbie. The legendary Mark Noone is a multiple award-winning musician, songwriter, and record producer born and raised in Washington, D.C. He's best known for being the lead singer and frontman for the Slickee Boys, the leading punk new wave whatever band during the golden years of D.C. rock and roll, and a band that I think should have been as famous as the Rolling Stones. The Slickees hold the record for playing the 930 Club more than any other band, and Mark himself has played there 94 times. Is that true?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is true. Yeah.
Mark has also played in many bands, including the Yachtsmen, King Soul, the Hula Monsters, Ruthie and the Wranglers, Rhodes Tavern Troubadours, the RTTs, Troubadours, and he's written more than 50 songs, including When I Go to the Beach and This Party Sucks. It sucks a lot. Welcome, Mr. Mark Noone. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you.
Wow, that's a nice introduction. Thank you.
Thank you. You can use that anytime.
Yeah. I will.
I borrowed it. I'm not quite a Leucococyte, but I borrowed some of it from your webpage.
Cool. All right. Good.
So, what have you been doing for the past, how many months has it been?
Well, my last kind of real gig, right when this thing, when the you-know-what hit the fan.
You don't say it.
Was in March, in the middle of March. And so I had a King Soul gig on the Saturday, like the 9th or something like that. And then I had Rhodes Tavern Troubadours on the 11th or 12th. And that's like my last 2 real gigs. And I make the majority of my income from gigging. That's where I do studio stuff and I teach, I have lessons and I do guitar repair and I make money that way. But my real income is gigging. And it's been kind of a drag. So we did a COVID gig at the VFW in Tacoma Park, which is a great scene. That place is turned into.
Yeah, we played there. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's totally cool. And so they've got a nice backyard out back, and there's a stage with a overhang. It's not a stage, but it's a little concrete area.
Is that where the parking lot is? That would be a great place.
Other side of the parking lot.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, on the other side. It's a backyard. It's like a really nice chunk of land back there. It's a nice real estate back there. So we played there. We did a happy hour show there, and they're really good about following the guidelines. You know, they were only allowed 50 people, including band and staff and patrons, and they took everybody's temperature with a thing on the head, and you had to put in your name and your phone number so they could, you know, do the contact
Trace
tracing
you.
thing
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And so the place was already at capacity long before we started. And we actually played there twice, and it was like that both times. But um, I we all knew that we were like really psyched to play because we hadn't played in months, and we really were really looking forward to this. And uh, we really didn't know how much we were going to like it when we did, when we actually got together and played with four guys. We've been playing together for a long time, getting together, no rehearsal, everything's clicking like a train. You know, it was like just really, really fun, and everybody being pretty starved for live entertainment. All the friends and fans were really, you know, they were all digging it, and you know, there's people that couldn't get in, and they were watching over the fence and dancing in the parking
Aw.
lot. You know, both the gigs that we did there were really wonderful. It was really, really, really good gigs, and I've been practicing a lot. You know, I've been, you know, I sit there, I watch Perry Mason and practice my scales. You know,
Perry Mason, good.
yeah, great show.
Yep, it is.
That's
It's
such a
great.
show. Yeah. You know, even though I'm watching one of those, I've seen this one before, but man, I can't for the life of me figure I can remember who did it. So
I'm the same way with all of those. Murder, She Wrote, I have no idea. You know,
you've seen them
all I know is that 20 past there's one murder, and at 35 past there's another murder.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I've been practicing. I've been writing some stuff. Linda and I get together. She can play guitar quite well, and we get together and play songs. We do that at least once a week, you know, for around an hour, you know, and that's, you know, just kind of keep me going doing that, you know. Another thing I've been doing, I've been going skeet shooting.
What?
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
A,
Where do you go skeet shooting around here?
there's an elementary school right across the street, and
Those little kids are hard targets.
they really are. They move so quick. No, there's a, there's a place that we go that's out near Bowie, and it's part of a Prince George's County Parks and Recreation, and it's set up for that. It's a really nice range. It's really nice, and they're also real. You know, you have to make reservations. You got to do the social distance. You have to wear your mask while you're shooting, which is really difficult. You know, I did terrible the last time because my mask was fogging up my glasses.
Yeah.
Are you usually pretty good at it? Well, you put your glasses, you set it on top over your mask, so you don't.
Yeah, I know. But still, you know, it's still they still get fogged up even when I do that. I'm okay at it. I used to be better, but when I used to shoot competitively when I was younger,
Really?
and then my eyes just kept getting worse and worse to the point where I just wasn't seeing right because my glasses were so thick. The curvature of your lens is not true. You know, like your vision is not right. Yeah. So I just didn't shoot for a long time. But then I had cataracts, and so I had to get, you know, those lenses that they put in there. It gave me corrective lenses, and now I can see a fly on a fence post, you know, a mile away. And so I wanted to get back into shooting. So, you know, I did okay. I didn't do as well last time, but the time that I went before that, I did about 50%. I was kind of impressed myself.
So you got bionic eyes now, right?
Yeah, I do.
Wow,
Yeah.
there's a song in there. X-ray eyes, bionic eyes. Yeah.
Wow.
And so I guess during the Vietnam War, you could have been a sniper if you hadn't not wanted to be in the war, right?
Well, I'll never forget this. I remember my eye doctor saying, "Well, your vision's bad enough to keep you out of the Army," and I was like, right. Even though, I was born in 1954. We had the last lottery. I don't know if you remember when they had lotteries.
Yeah, 54. I guess you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't take anybody from 54, but they did take people from 53. And so we all us, my buddies and I, we were all 50, you know, born in 54. We're all sitting around watching the lottery on TV.
Wow.
You know, we're sitting there drinking beer and whatever, you know, and my number was way down. I mean, I was like 300 or something.
Wow.
You know, so I was lucky. But anyways, my doctor said, you know, if you need a letter to keep you out of the Army, let me know because of your vision.
Yeah, glasses, bone spurs, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm not against, you know, people serving their country, but I'm not really big on going to other countries and shooting people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Annie, Get Your Gun? You ever? I saw that was on not too long ago. Again, that's such a good movie with Ben.
Yeah, who's in that one?
Betty, can't
Debbie
remember.
Reynolds.
No. She was in one that was like
Was
that.
it Betty Hutton?
Yeah, it was Betty Hutton.
Eddie Hutton.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Judy Garland, but I think Judy Garland couldn't really, too many
Oh,
cocktails.
yeah.
So they gave it to Betty Hutton.
Wow. Yeah. Well, it was on the other day that I watched. It's another thing I'm doing. I'm watching a lot of westerns. I like westerns, so I was watching a lot of westerns.
I love
And I was watching the it's a musical and I can't think of the name of it, but it's Doris Day, and she plays
Calamity Jane?
Calamity Jane.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's great. And so it has her version of Secret Love,
Yep.
which is
Once
such
I
a
had
great.
a secret love.
I know, man. What a great song. And it's got that loping thing where it's like, once I had a secret love, but it's got that little 5 6 5 6 5 6. And she's on a horse, of course, while she's.
Oh, of course. And looking glamorous.
Oh
of
yeah,
course.
looking totally
Yeah.
great, like in buckskins, and her hair's all perfect.
Yeah, and there was a real Calamity Jane, I believe, right?
There was,
Yeah.
Who I'm sure did not look at all like Doris Day.
No, she was kind of a pirate, the real Calamity Jane.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I don't really know much about her.
I got some homework to do.
When Jane and I drove through Deadwood, every T-shirt was either Wild Bill Cody or Calamity Jane, because they were both from that area. And we stayed at the Occidental Hotel, which was built in around 1830, and both of them had stayed in that hotel.
Wow, what do you know? How
It's
cool
the
is
coolest hotel. It's decorated like the 1880s and 1890s.
that? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, how about let's have you play a song. So
Okay.
at least we can say you played one song during the show.
Okay, so I mentioned this before to some friends of mine. I had a friend of mine, a guy named Stevie Ray Reynolds, and Steve handled the musical instruments at Weinstein Pawnbrokers, which is an institution in D.C. as far as pawn shops go. And the poor guy, they got robbed, and the poor guy got shot in a robbery. So I wrote this song for him back in the 80s, and I remember Slickee Boys tried to do it. We did it a handful of times, and we pulled it off pretty well, but it's not a song that's stuck in the repertoire, but I've always liked it. So, and it goes like this. It just comes in with me. My friend Steve, he had a funny life. He bought and sold rock and roll. He didn't have a wife to sing to. Well, my friend Steve, a cowboy and a rocker, his nickname was a doctor. He has some friends who play guitar who think of him right now. Well, my friend Steve, a lover, not a fighter, his motives could be righter. He never touched a gun, he'd be the first to run. So my friend Steve, he rode to work one morning. He saw the bandits coming. He couldn't run and hide. He was trapped inside. So when they burst, their 6 guns were ablazing. They thought it was amazing that when the shooting done, they were all but one. My friend Steve, my friend Steve. Well, my friend Steve, he barely is remembered. The very thing he hated, it got him in the end, but he died with friends. Well, my friend Steve, he saw the bullets coming from the corner of his eye. Such an unromantic way for a friend of mine to die. My friend Steve, my friend Steve.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, that was great. That was really
Thanks.
great.
Thanks.
Sad though.
Thanks.
Now,
So
what are
so-
tell me what are your most of your songs about? They're not that sad usually.
I know, yeah, they're usually not. You know, they're usually about cars and girls, basically.
I
So
thought so.
I'll tell you a little story about that. I had this friend of mine named Kathy Amano, and she knew this guy named Mario, who was a DC socialite, and he would have these great. He had a nice house in Georgetown with an actual nice big yard, and he would have these great parties, and they were always because of something. And he would, and I've been to like two or three of them and I really barely knew the guy, but he liked having a diverse group of people, like, and he liked me as a musician to come to these parties. And one of these parties I'll never forget was for a guy who was a Russian journalist who was here in America to write, and he was here for like 6 weeks to write about the agricultural system in America. I mean, 6 weeks, how about a year and a half, maybe 2 years to research and study,
Yeah.
that. So, but nonetheless, he was there for like 6 weeks. So Mario had his little party for him, and his English was outstanding, and he was a total gentleman and a nice guy, really great gentleman. And so I was introduced as a musician, and we talked about that, and writing songs and writing. And he was a journalist, and he kind of thought that was cool. We had that in common. And he asked me what you just asked me, what are my songs about? And I said, my songs are like American fun. I mean, it's about cars and girls and fun and parties and that kind of, and his mood, I mean, 180, completely turned around, and he chastised me for not being the voice of American youth to lead the workers to the, like unite.
Ninochka!
Yeah.
Ninochka!
Oh, boy, this guy let me have it.
Hey, Shaq,
Frivolous American
Yes,
songwriter.
exactly. I know.
Rock and roll, bah!
Exactly. I know. I'm sure it's like ruined his whole idea, like what Americans are all about.
well, should we try to show life at the party?
Sure, why not?
Since we're talking about parties, talk amongst yourselves until Lisa figures out how to do this.
So tell us what your PayPal is for people that, I know everyone wants to help out musicians who aren't gigging. So what's your PayPal address?
That'd really be great. I'm pretty sure my PayPal is at my email address, which is markanoone, all one word, lowercase, markanoone@gmail.com.
Okay, and we'll also put it on our page too.
Thank you. That's great. Thanks.
And then we're also going to talk about another way to make money, which is selling all the junk in your house. Ooh,
Diana, it's not junk. It's quality items.
It's oh, is that what it is?
Oh, we don't want that.
Great. I put up 3 things already today.
I know. I'm proud of you.
I know.
Great.
I found this too. I found a Victorian butterfly. Oh, here's the video. Almost ready? Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
You got the sound, Diana?
Yep.
Your invitation, please.
Jolie.
Marvelous.
Lisa, I don't have the volume on it.
How's that?
No, it's louder. But that's okay. Loud is good. Who's that coming? It's the Slickee Boys. Yeah. They're the help. They have to go through the back entrance. Through the kitchen. Yeah! There's Ruthie. Oh, it's David Bowie. Nice shirt.
Life of the party. Look what you got to show for it. You can't handle your indecision, but you know that you're gonna go for it. Too late, too loud, too many. Plenty to stop it.
Dan Polensky.
How shocked you last so long. Look at you still going strong.
Marshall. Nutty
You
cone.
know that you're gonna jump the gun. Too late, too loud, too late. Big chance to stop it, baby. I'll shock you last so long. Look at you still going strong. Life of the party looks like you went for it. You couldn't handle your self-indulgence, so somebody had to spend for it. Too late, too loud, too many. Big chance to stop it, baby. I'm shocked you last so long. Look at you still going strong.
Woo! Oh, that's fun.
It is such silliness. So that was the Langley Punks, the travesty film group.
Everyone,
they,
yes.
they did that. Dave Glick.
The Hitchcocks of Washington, D.C.
Yeah,
or
really, man. So,
Adelphi or Langley.
yeah. So my buddy Dave Glick and Rich West directed that, and so we played in New York the night before that, and like in New York, a lot of times you'd go on at like 2 a.m. So we did our show in New York, and just got loaded back in the bus, drove back down to University of Maryland, and shot that in a sorority house. And a lot of the girls there were the sorority girls from the
Really?
from the house, yeah. And most of them were. And then there was a lot of friends and a lot of people you recognize. Nuttico was in it, and my buddy Leo and
Yeah, Leo. Was Suzanne Shackley in it? Jane wants to know.
No, I don't think she was. No. Do we know about her? Do we know that she died?
I don't know.
Yeah, she died in a fire.
No.
Anne Shackley. Yeah, she was
Wow.
a great girl. She was John Hanson's girlfriend for a long time. Everybody loved her. She was a really, really cool girl.
Wow.
And I think she was living in the South somewhere. And that's unfortunate there, but that's what I wonder how did Jane know her?
I don't know. Jane knew everyone.
Yeah, Jane.
She's
What's
watching
about
now.
Yeah, Jane says hi. Rob Howe says hi. Ken Roseman.
Oh,
Jeff Smith. Hey.
Right.
Tom Adams. Hi, Adele. Charles McCullough.
all right.
Hey, Ken Roseman wants to know when that was filmed.
Boy, good question. 83, maybe? Something
Maybe
like that?
83.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably tell by the hairstyles. I
Right,
guess.
yes. It's
Early
definitely
80s.
I should know, of course, there's so much stuff like that I just don't know, and I should. Some things I know the date of my first gig was Slickee Boys, but,
Okay, when was that?
it was February 19th, 79.
And where was it?
It was at the Oddfellows Hall in Towson, Maryland.
Oh, I love that. Was a great. That was a
Wasn't that
great
a-
place. I love that place.
Remember the guy's name was Tom Morrow, and him and
Yes.
his wife put on the shows there.
Yes,
And so on the
we played there a
it
lot.
was- we played with the Chumps.
Yep, I love them too.
The Raisinets,
I don't remember that.
I like that name.
Judy's Fixation.
Judy's Fixation. They were everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Bad Brains, who didn't
Bad
show
Brains.
up.
Yep.
They didn't show
Oh,
up.
really? Well,
Slickee
that's
Boys,
what a
yeah.
surprise.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we played with Tybo there, and Ebenezer and the Bludgeons, one of my favorite bands. Do you remember them?
I remember
They
them.
were
Oh,
great.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That was
yeah.
a really great little place.
That was.
Yeah.
And, do you remember the worst part about it?
The stairs.
Yes, the load in. It's like 30 stairs.
Oh no.
Worst
Yes.
stairs ever.
Yeah.
Next to, what was it? What was the place off DuPont Circle that also had stairs just like that? Like a salt box.
Near DuPont?
The Ritz. It was the Ritz at one
Oh,
point. It
yeah.
was
The Roxy?
The Roxy, yeah.
Yeah. I would count the stairs every time I went up there. It was,
And-
it was a lot. It was
Be
like
thankful you
28.
weren't the drummer.
Yeah, right. But they had as going up the stairs, you had to carry all your stuff going up. But there was a ramp kind of thing. It was maybe 10 inches wide. So when you're loading out, you can just walk down and just kind of
Yes.
scoot your ramp
Yeah.
down there. So of course, John Hanson, who was our roadie, he was a great guy who ended up being in the band at the end of Slickee Boys. He would just like take the amp and just like scoot it. Thing would just go flying, shooting down, and then crash at the bottom. And like, John, you can't do that.
What was that? The music box with the Laurel and Hardy with their piano, loading it up the stairs, and it always
Classic.
fell back down.
Classic.
Well,
Yeah.
play another song for us, Mark. That
Sure,
last one
sure.
sounded pretty good.
Yeah, what's
Sure.
he gonna play?
This is a song that's called "Nothing Like an Earthquake," and I just like that title, and it has nothing to do with the song. And okay, she spent 3 hours in the kitchen, cursing me and bitching. I told her not to wait, that I'd be late, but she wouldn't listen. I told her not to worry, 'cause I was stuck up in New Jersey. And the train didn't come, and I cut my thumb. Now the tip of it is missing. Whoa, whoa, lean on me. Ain't that the way it's supposed to be? Can't you see? I need you more than you need me. I need you more than you need me. It was her grandmother's recipe, and she wanted to surprise me. And I knew it'd be good, and I did what I could, but now she'll despise me. It's just a little mistake, nothing like an earthquake. So why all the tears in 100 years? What difference will it all make? Whoa, whoa, lean on me. Ain't that the way it's supposed to be? Can't you see? I need you more than you need me. I need you more than you need me. I need you more than you need me. I need you more than you need me.
Excellent.
Thank you.
That's right. There's too much drama in the world. Right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there really is. Like, what difference it'll make in 100 years? So.
I was going to ask you something. But first, Jane says that she knew Suzanne in high school, and they went
Crazy.
to a million shows together.
Yeah.
So,
Her father, Suzanne Shackley's father, was a spy or something. He was like some sort
Wow.
of operative.
Wow.
He was some sort of operative.
wow.
And nice guy, but is very guarded. I only met him once or twice. But so one day, me and Seth DC, Seth Martin, and John Hanson and Suzanne Shackley were at my house. I used to live in this group house. You remember the Tall Oaks, the house I lived in
Yes.
that big house in DC? Always had great parties there. So it was snowing like crazy, and we were all hanging out at my house, and we were like snowed in. So we're just sitting around, and Suzanne was saying, "Man, I'm worried about my dad. He's flying today. He's flying out today, out of National." And we're like, "Oh boy!" It's like, they know what to do. They know what to do. I wouldn't worry about it. So Suzanne gets a call at John Hanson's house. This is before cell phones, and I think it might have been John's sister or somebody ran over to my house to tell her that the flight that her father was on crashed into the Potomac.
Ooh.
And we were all like, "Oh my God," and everything. And then right after that, he missed his flight.
Wow.
He missed the flight.
Wow.
And he called his wife, and she alerted us all that he
Oh,
was
man.
What was
That's
that,
awful.
Flight 90 or something? What was
It
that?
was Air Florida.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that day.
Yeah,
I
me
was at
too.
home. It
Yeah.
was snowing. I went into work. Yep.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I remember there was a
had
lot of
to.
snow. We were snowed in, but
That
her
was
dad
awful.
he missed the flight.
Gee
Fortunately,
whiz.
yeah.
God.
Wow.
Huh.
That was
Paul
cutting it
Gannon
close.
says hello.
Who?
Paul Gannon.
Oh yeah, Paul. Dude.
Reggie Mark Stout. Chris
Reggie.
O'Leary. Rick Wheeler.
All right.
Robbie White says it was 1983.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Fabulous.
Cool.
Would you guys like to play another video or
Sure.
play another song?
Let's have another toast.
Let's have another toast.
I'll drink to that.
Hi,
Cheers.
Noone.
Ching,
Hi, Ball.
ching,
Ching, ching,
ching.
ching. Cake.
So I was thinking about having a Bloody Mary, but I figured when I couldn't, I knew I was going to be visual, so I figured I haven't worn that. I really like this Hawaiian shirt, haven't worn it in a while, and so I was like, well, I'll have a Hula Monster cocktail instead of a Bloody Mary.
Oh, we can talk about, speaking of Hawaiian shirts. That's what you do. That's another big thing that you do is you sell your.
Yeah, I have my Etsy shop.
Right.
It's called Vintage Noone, and it is a lot of Hawaiian shirts, but not only Hawaiian shirts, but just a lot of vintage stuff. I got some just cool vintage wear. And one thing that I'm not sure if we've put this up yet. We're about to if we haven't already, but it's this really cool Russian. One of those Russian hats that's all fur. And it's
Yeah.
got a little Russian insignia.
Yeah, very nice.
And another cool thing that I have, it's a faux lamb, like a stole. Remember that, like lamb's wool?
The shearling or
Yeah, like shearling, shearling.
Diana has one.
or
Yeah,
baby
sure,
or
I'm sure she does.
shearling or the baby curly lamb.
It's it's short, but it's like shearling and short, but it's not real fur.
Right.
And it's really nice. It's really, really nice. And I got a bunch of cool stuff on there. Just go to Vintage Noone on Etsy.
Vintage Noone on
You see a bunch
Etsy.
of cool stuff.
Right.
And Diana, you've got your DQ.
I just started this morning. I put 3
Right.
things up, so
You-
it's a way to get rid of. It's called death cleaning.
Yeah.
You get rid of your stuff because no one wants this stuff.
I know. We'll see. That's what. So if I should die suddenly,
Yeah.
my friends who own my house and my
Yeah.
girlfriend Linda, they're going to be saddled with all this stuff.
I was thinking the same thing, Jane. It's sorry. Call the Salvation Army and load up the dumpster.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that would be my last words. Would be, sorry.
What are we going to play next, Lisa?
How about Time Spent Waiting?
Do you want to hear that, Mark?
Oh yeah, man. I really like this song. Marshall and I wrote this song.
Oh,
And,
yeah?
Robbie really wants to hear it, so we will hear it. Right?
We will. Just give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves while...
Cybernetic Dreams of Pie.
Yeah, that's Kim Kane's robotic artwork there.
He's such a good artist.
He's really crazy, man. He's so imaginative. I don't know where he is. I just don't know how his brain works. He's just such a brilliant guy.
Whoa! Ow!
All the time spent waiting, I could have put to use. Worried and contemplating. I stumble before the fall. No one ever looked at me. No one saw it all. All the time spent waiting could be put to use. Worried and contemplating, but I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. All the time spent waiting, I wish I could have spent hiding out in Africa, living in a tent. But all the dates and games I've missed wouldn't even dent honest contribution kept in timeless vaults, ashamed and unattended, more than ready for assault. Never even got reviewed. I know it's not my fault. All the time spent waiting, wasted precious age, selfishly destroying, selfish fit of rage. All my deepest thoughts and dreams while staring into space, going way beyond my means, stare me in the face. So I express my weakness, I stumble before the fall. No one ever looked at me, no one saw it all. All the time spent waiting could be put to use, sighing and debating, but I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, thank you. Yeah, Marshall and I wrote that. Marshall and I wrote a bunch of songs together. He would write the music, and he'd get me to write the lyrics, and that was one of them. We did a handful of those, and both Marshall and Kim, those guys are just so imaginative. Marshall has since Slickee Boys broke up, he's put out about 4 or 5 CDs.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's done a lot.
And they're really, really something. He's got one called Checkered Past. He got this first one, which is untitled, and then my favorite one that he's got is called Roadside Shrine.
Yeah, with the picture, the photograph on the front.
And it's just, I mean, it's a masterpiece. It's every song is like leads you to the next one. It's really a really remarkable record. It really is.
He's a great songwriter. We're going to invite him as soon as he can.
Yeah,
to come
cool.
on.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
Do you collect guitars too?
Do
Any
I?
amps? Yeah.
I don't collect them, but I have many of them. I've got
like 100.
No, maybe around 20.
Oh, okay.
You know, and there was a time there when
you have 100 fezzes, right?
About 20. I have over 100 Hawaiian shirts. That's
okay.
And, but you know, there was a time there when I had about 20. I think I had 22 ukuleles, and I've sold some of those, and many of them I want to keep. But I've sold some of them on eBay, and actually I have one up. I mean, on Etsy. I got one up on Etsy now. And then I also had another thing that I did collect for a long time was toasters. And I
remember that. I think about you every time I see an old toaster, and I said, he probably's got one. Yeah.
I had this like wall of toasters when I was on Westmoreland Avenue, and bit by bit I sold those off too.
Wow.
But so when you collect something like toasters or tiki mugs, which is another thing when people know that, and you've done this, you'll see a toaster in the thrift store. I'll get this from Art, you know.
He'll really love it.
So I accumulated a lot of toasters that way, and tiki mugs.
Well, did you have a favorite toaster, Mark?
Yes, and I still have that one. I
What
sold
is
them
it?
off, and I still have that one. It's the roundest one I have, and it's got these clear Bakelite controls. And I do have another one that's really old, and that's one of the flop down ones
Yeah.
where you put the thing and it
Yeah.
flops
Oh, yeah.
down, and then when you put it back up, the toast flips over. It only
Yeah.
toasts on
Ooh,
one side.
fancy.
You know, you could have contacted American Pickers and had them go over to your house.
Yeah, probably could.
They won't do that with Hawaiian shirts. Do you have a holy grail of Hawaiian shirts or
Um,
guitar or anything? Is
well,
there something?
I did have the holy grail of Hawaiian shirts, but it didn't fit me, and it's actually in the Hawaiian shirt book.
Oh,
And
what was it? What
it
is
was
it?
it was called Joss Sticks, and it's like it was silk.
Wow.
I can't remember the label, but the design on it was like incense sticks, very artfully arranged.
Oh, yeah, you know what joss sticks are, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's like basically what they are. So,
Yeah.
uh, I knew that this was going to be a high dollar thing, and it was one of the most expensive things I've ever sold on Etsy, and it went right away.
How much did you get?
When I put it up? I think I got 170 for it.
Oh,
Yeah, but Holy Grail of guitars. This is my favorite guitar.
what is that?
It's a 60s Silvertone.
Silvertone?
Yeah, and so I got this at a thrift store, and it didn't have any controls. It had one pickup, and I happened to have the other pickup for it. I just happened to have
Wow.
it. And so I wired it up. I can do that. I
So
wired it
early
up.
60s, like 63?
It's a 62. There's a on the pickup on the inside. There's a date, and it's I'm pretty sure it's either 61 or 62.
Wow.
But this is one of my favorites.
That's
I got a bunch of
fabulous.
Telecasters and Stratocasters and a bunch of acoustics. I have a couple of basses, but I did at one time have many tiki mugs, and most of them were in the room where I gave guitar lessons. So one day, one of my students says, "I have a friend visiting from Canada, and is it okay if she sits in here during the lesson?" I'm like, "Sure." And so it's like a sun porch, and there's like a ledge that goes all the way around the top of the sun porch.
Yeah.
And so all my tiki mugs are up there. No, it's a good story. And so she says, "How many tiki mugs do you have?" And he says, "How many of those crazy ugly mugs do you have?" And I said, "I don't know, probably over 100." And so I doing the lesson's a half hour. I get the girl doing her chords and whatever, and the other girl the whole time is sitting on the couch in the room, and she's just looking at these tiki mugs the whole time.
1, 2,
And so the
3.
lesson's over, and I'm like, "Thanks," and I say goodbye to the girl from Canada. Like, she goes, "By the way, 122."
All right.
That's what she was counting them all during the lesson. And then I told her, I said, "That's just in this room."
Excellent. Wow.
No, I think I probably had another 100 of them in the house somewhere. So, and I've sold many of those on
Really?
Etsy. Yeah,
Wow.
man, I sold 4 of them yesterday. These ones were like my favorite ones. They're 4 matching Easter Island.
Wow. Very
They're
nice.
like this color,
Yeah.
and they're great shape. 4 matching ones.
Tell everyone this story. This is I love this story. The story of how and we won't say who it is unless you want to. Somebody broke your beautiful 60s coffee table. Can you tell that?
Sure. Well, actually, it was my parents got this table in 1949.
Wow.
And so I grew up with it. I always had it. And then
But what did it look like? It was
the designer was a Japanese guy named Noguchi, and it's
Yes.
this rounded triangular thing with the 2 legs. It's hard to describe, but the legs were kind of like this, and they would swivel, but it's like 3 feet on the ground in this really beautiful black lacquer design thing. And so we were at a party, and my friend, we came back to my house after the party, and my friend was just like passing out, and he didn't have a car there. And so I'm asleep, and I just hear this crash, and I don't think what it is. And this is when Ruthie and I were still together. We were at my house, and Ruthie's like, "Mark, wake up. This is really bad. Wake up. This is really bad." And so I'm still asleep, and I wake up and I go in the living room because he was sleeping on the couch. And now he's on the floor in a pile of shards.
Oh, no.
And the legs have like a peg that these things swivel on, and the peg is
Pick
snapped,
it up. Oh,
and this
no.
thing is flat. And so I'm like,
And he was still sleeping.
he was still fast asleep. He was still fast asleep. So I scooped him up and drove him out to Aspen Hill where his car was.
I love that story.
And then drove back. But I got the dimensions because somebody's reproducing these things. So I got the dimensions and I went to a glass company and they reproduced the top for me. And so now it's a fine functioning table. I took one of Dan Polinsky's broken drumsticks, fit perfectly with the peg, the swivel peg and broke, and I cut it off just the right length and capped it in there, and so now that works. And now my buddy Matt Ripito has it. He's got a kind of like a man cave, which is like the 70s thing, and he calls it his cool disco den. his den where so now
instead of cool disco Dan.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But it's a play over to disco den. It's his cool disco den. So now he's got it in his little.
Wow, lucky.
You know, he's
lucky
kind of just
guy.
on a long-term loan, and he's got it in his disco den.
I rescued somebody once from a bar. I used to do it all the time. And this guy, instead of taking him to his house, I think we just brought him here to my house here. Uh-huh. And in the morning, I went downstairs and like all the lamps were broken or overturned and, you know, crashed and glass.
Oh, no.
And he's sleeping on the couch. And I wake him. I say, "Hi, what happened?"
Oh, really?
And he said, "Nothing."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, everything is broken." And he said, "I don't know. I didn't notice anything."
Man.
that was like, what?
Yeah, really. Wow.
Really?
I remember you telling me a story about your dogs biting open cans of food.
The artichokes, and those are the dogs I brought back from Tibet. Yeah. Oh, and go through iron bars and break. One of them broke my picture window in the front just by pawing on it. They were crazy dogs. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
They did not know the art of Zen. Did not know canine Zen. Well, let's play. Let's play. What should we play? Let's play when we go to the beach.
Okay.
Is there some sort of bird calling in there?
That's my brother's parrot,
okay.
Spirit, who I put a towel over him so he would shut up, but he doesn't want to shut up.
Cool. Okay, that's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Hang on 1 second.
Sounds like a car alarm.
Well, I know. It's like, Spirit, stop it. Ha ha. Ha ha. It's very annoying. Yeah. Good. Wow. No, didn't work. Did I tell you the wrong thing to play, Lisa? You weren't prepared?
Yeah, I was. That's okay. I got
Okay.
it set up, though. 1 second. Just got to make sure I'm sharing it with everyone. Ha ha ha. Hi,
Can you
Spirit.
go over a little bit, Mark? Because I want to play This Party Sucks, and I want you to play Maliki Maki.
Sure. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't wait for the summer. I've been waiting too long. I'm gonna go to the seashore, 'cause that's where I belong. And you know I'll think of you when I go to the beach. I'm hanging out on the boardwalk. I'm waking up with the sun. I'm catching up on the girl talk. So let's begin the fun. And you know I'll think of you when I go to the beach. I'm having beer for breakfast. I party all afternoon. Chasing wild bikinis in the light of the moon. And you know I'll think of you when I go to the beach. I can't believe it's September. I think I'm gonna hit
Yeah, the great thing about the great thing about that band is all the harmonies and the arrangements and everything is perfect.
I agree. I think that's one thing that Slickee Boys had going for us. We had guys who could sing. Marshall and Dan and John Chumbers could sing, and Mike Maxwell could sing. We had guys who could sing, and so we got to do all these vocal arrangement things. And I think that was the thing that really helped us out there. At the time, if you might have noticed this, we were kind of going for a Budweiser endorsement.
Yeah, or a remake of the Gidget movies.
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally. So that song was in a Paramount Pictures movie. It's called Back to the Beach. That was it was Frankie and Annette are now married, and their kids go to the beach, kind of thing.
Oh,
And
I remember that. Yeah.
So that was maybe 20 seconds of the song was in a scene. It was a great scene where Frankie is in a bar, and the bartender is Bob Denver in Gilligan character.
Wow.
And When I Go to the Beach is playing in the background.
Oh.
and Frankie is saying something about, I feel like abandoned. I'm cast away. And the Gilligan character's like, yeah, I know all about that.
It is more like an Annette Funicello movie because they had that guy who has like the hillbilly hat on.
Oh yeah,
cut off shorts.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I remember. Yeah.
So somebody posted, Charles McCullough says, 20 plus year fan. He says it's a family tradition to blast this song on the car stereo on beach vacation trips.
Great.
That's great.
I love hearing that, because here's another kind of story like that. I ran into this woman, and she would go to the beach with this beach trip with like 5 or 6 of her best friends, and they would go for a week. And they would all meet down there. And on the first day, the first thing they would do, they'd wake up in the morning, they'd blast that, and they're all having Bloody Marys and mimosas and dancing to that song. And I said, wow, great. That's great. How long did you do that? She goes, we still do it.
Wow.
And she's like my age. She's been doing this since she was like in her 20s.
That's a great song.
It's fabulous. Wow.
Yeah.
Why don't you play the other one, Lisa, while we talk amongst ourselves?
What was that? Which one was that?
This Party Sucks.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I remember. I wrote the song. Do you remember Joey Romero?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, great guy.
He's the one who fell asleep in my living room.
Really? Wow. So,
is he listening?
I wonder.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in touch with him. We're friends on Facebook.
Don't tell him I said that.
We're back and forth. There was a time there when Joey and I were like really, really good friends. We were both living in Tacoma Park, and we were like hanging together all the time. He was a lot of fun. He was a great guy. So one night we were at a party, and it was a great party, and he was just in a bad mood. And there's all this fun stuff to do. All these people were there. We knew all these people. And Joey's just like in a corner sulking. He says, let's go. This party sucks. Let's go. Come on, Noone, let's go. This party sucks. I had to write a song.
Yeah. There's another song called This Party Sucks by somebody. Who is it?
Yeah, I don't know, but I heard about that.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I was trying to find somebody in like playing it on their acoustic guitar in their bathroom, but I haven't found it yet. I'm sure it exists.
You ready? I think it's here. Okay, here we go.
From the 8x10? No, Cheap Beer Fest.
This party sucks. This party sucks. This party sucks. Man, it really sucks. Leave me alone. I'm going home. This party sucks. I got here late. Now I can't find my gate. Leave me alone. I'm going home. This party sucks. I saw the last time that I went to Kim King's house. I hope tonight might be a little better. But what made you think you could get me here to drink? Oh, I can't take it anymore. This party sucks. Really sucks. Leave me alone. I'm going home. This party sucks. This band's too loud and it's too big a crowd. I'm going home. Leave me alone. This party sucks. I remember the last time that I was at Conche's house. I hope That party sucks. It really sucks. Leave me alone. I'm going home. This party sucks. If DJs are cool and they get made in the swimming pool, I'm out of here. No matter what happens when you go to a party, you can always make sure that it sucks. You park on the lawn, you sleep on the roof, you drink all the alcohol, you do everything you can to make sure you have a bad time. But if I'm there, it's not gonna happen. But then at some point, you're just gonna have to say, I can't take it anymore. This party sucks. It really sucks. Leave me alone. I'm going home. This party sucks. Looks like this show, she won't leave me alone. Get off of me, this party sucks. That band's too loud and there's too big a crowd. I'm going home, this party sucks. This band's too cool and there's champagne in the swimming pool. I'm going home, this party sucks. This party sucks. Not really. Not really. Thank you, everybody. We're the...
I've never seen that.
Really?
Yeah, I've never seen that. That was shot at this guy Mike McNick.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Here we are. They love you. They love you.
My friend Mike McNick has his party from time to time. It's called Cheap Beer Fest, and he lives down in Accokeek, down near Accokeek, and they're great parties, and a lot of people will go down there and spend the weekend. It's a lot of fun. That was shot there, but I'd never seen that.
Is one of the lyrics really "Get off of me"?
Yeah, there's a girl looks like Grace Jones. She won't
Right.
leave me alone. Get off of me.
Yep. See, that should be like, yeah, you guys should be like the Rolling Stones, you know? Really, really
Thank
great.
you. Thanks.
Really good band.
Yeah, thanks.
All of
Yeah.
your bands.
Well,
really good bands.
I've been very, very lucky.
Tell us a little bit about them, because someone just wrote Rick Wheeler. He'd never seen When I Go Back to the Beach. So I'm sure some people, maybe one or two, don't know about your other bands.
You mean the movie Back to the Beach or
Your song.
video?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wrote that one about all the stuff that I do at the beach, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm kind of a beach guy. I've been going to the beach all my life. You know, I remember when I was a kid, you get out of school, you know, so here's me being the old guy. In the olden days, you would get out of school, you know, right before Memorial Day weekend, and you would
watch
go
Perry
back
Mason.
after Labor Day weekend.
Right.
And so my parents, we'd get out of school, we'd go right to the beach. We'd be down at the beach for a couple of weekends. My birthday's June 16th. So I would often have my birthday at the beach. So we would, you know, we're just at the beach a lot. And then a lot of times we would go for 2 weeks and then another week later on in the summer. We rented the same place for 15 years, and the house that we rented is still there, although it's been built upon. It's in Bethany. But yeah, it's that song was, you know, I got a lot of mileage out of that song. And there's one good thing about Slickee Boys. I would write songs and I'd have an idea in my mind what I wanted the song to sound like. And when Slickee's played it, it was just how I imagined it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a real luxury. So I'm very lucky to be in these bands. I get in these bands with really cool people, with good people and good friends. You know, you're you know how it is. You're in a band. It's like a marriage. You know, you get along with everybody, and everybody has a great time, and everybody respects everybody, and it's a great situation. And I've been very lucky, and not all bands are like that. And I think it's a lot like that here in DC, but I know that, you know, I have friends of mine who look bands from Boston and New York, and they all hate each other, but they still play together. But, you know, I don't
Well,
know.
in Washington, you have to be tolerant of people who are, you know, a little different than you are, or you can have arguments and still be friends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And even more than being tolerant of it, but, you know, respecting it and embracing it. You know, here's another quick little story. I know we're like,
That's all right.
pushing the
I'm
time.
good. I'm good.
So I was at Middle C Middle C where I teach, and Roddy Franz was in town, and he knew I was teaching there. He came by to see me, and so I was finishing up my lesson, and there's Roddy, and we have these like big glass doors in the little studios where we teach, and there's Roddy standing out there. I'm like, oh my god! So I go, big hugs, and we're all like, hugging and talking and laughing and everything, and the people, and who work at the store, the staff, they're all cool people, and I'm saying, man, this is my buddy Roddy Franz. He was like they were the premier like art band here in DC back when I had Slickee Boys going, and they were a great band, and they were like the premier band. They had a 2-record deal with Warner Brothers. They were happening, and so one of the people says, "Oh, did you guys like have a battle of the bands? Did you have face-offs? Did you guys like no? We all got along really well."
Yeah.
And we played together many times. And if I got a gig offer and I couldn't do it, hey Roddy, can you guys do this gig? I can't, and these people who worked at Middle C who are not from here, they're all like usually students have come to AU and this is their job at the music store. They were kind of surprised about that, but Roddy and I have always been good friends. We still are. We were just messaging back and forth on Facebook the other day.
Yeah, he's got some nice posts on his Facebook page.
What's that?
He's got some nice posts on his Facebook page.
Yeah,
He's got some nice humane and human
Oh yeah, definitely.
thoughts and feelings. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got your ukulele
I
out.
I do. This is one of my favorite ukuleles. This is Tex.
What?
I
Let's see.
mean,
Hold on. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it says Tex on there.
Yeah.
It said that on there when I bought this from Gil Southworth.
Yep. He had great guitars.
He still does. He's cornered the market on pretty much every vintage instrument in the world.
Just online or what?
I guess he's just doing it online. But he's got a thing on Facebook. He posts things, he's got like, I think he just gets bored and he'll put like 300 Telecasters against a wall and take a picture and put it up. and then like a month later, it'll be like 200 Les Pauls,
Wow. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Paradise.
So do you all have any Christmas plans? What's your?
Oh yeah, lots of Christmas parties and gigs.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a big fan of Christmas, and I always say there's one thing worse than Christmas is Christmas music. But so I mean, I'm fine with Christmas, and so it's for me, it's just going to be the lowest of keys Christmas that I've ever had.
Yeah,
so I'm sure that'll be like that for all of us.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it. Yeah. I would prefer people not traveling to come and see me, or so we can all be together, so people could be safe. I prefer to just stay home and wash your hands and wear a mask and all that stuff. Yeah. So.
It sounds like you've got commentary.
The bird is going, what's your problem? Yeah.
Johnny Castle had this parrot, and he got it from a neighbor or something like that. And the neighbors who had the parrot before him must have had a little baby, because sometimes the parrot out of the blue would just go, "You go poo poo."
That's lovely.
And
Wow.
Another thing that this parrot would do, it realized that when the phone would ring in the kitchen, somebody would come in there, and this parrot would mimic the phone.
This one does too.
Wow.
And he gives his phone number. He says, "What's your phone number?" 525-4434.
Wow.
Which won't help him if he escaped now. But,
Right. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty amazing they could do that. Yeah.
Well, Mark, we really loved having you today.
Thanks for having
was so
me. It was
much
a lot of fun.
fun.
Please come back. Please come back.
It was perfectly timed because my drink is...
My drink too, look. Oh.
Yeah, I'm done. So I'm finished my Hula Monster cocktail.
Would you like to do a little outro for us?
Yeah, let's do. I'll sing the favorite Hawaiian Christmas song that Hula Monsters recorded this, and it ended up on a Hungry for Music Christmas thing. Remember those? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've all done those. So
Jeff Campbell.
Bele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. And we know that Christmas will be green and bright. The daytime, the stars, the sunshine in the daytime, and the stars at night. Mele is Hawaii's way to say Merry Christmas, a very Merry Christmas, a very Merry Christmas to you.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Everybody.
Mele Kalikimaka, everybody. Share this with all your friends. Press share. And Mark, come back again, okay?
I'd love to. Thank
Bring
you.
your contra bassoon next time, okay?
I'm
Please.
going up on my contra bassoon.
Okay, please do.
Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you. Thanks,
Bye,
everybody, for
everybody.
coming in. See you
Thanks.
next week.
Bye-bye.